A lot of people would see this and think that it's just a dog that is too far gone. But my experience tells me there's no such thing. I find out later some things that if you look really closely, you can probably see just by looking at this one. But I also have to tell you that we got to a point where this little one even fell asleep in my lap. But how we got there is pretty interesting. All right, stick with me. Let's sit with this one.
I'm going to go really slow. I know this is very scary, but there's a reason I moved you in here.
Okay, do you see just how small this little one is? Like, I don't know if you can tell. Well, there we go. If you look at this little one next to me, you can see just how small they are. But their eyes and their head are larger than life almost. And I just want to scoop in and snuggle this one up. But you don't want to do that when you're working with a dog that is dealing with terror or fear, who's shut down. Because that's like telling someone who's scared of spiders to just go in a room full of spiders, lock the door until you get over your fear. That doesn't work. Now, I can tell with this little ones, there is a story. To have this much fear at this age, not only is it unhealthy, but it's just unfair. No little one should have to go through this sort of trauma. We're going to start with a treat. Now, I think the fear is so strong in this one, I don't think they'll actually take a treat, but we have to try. There was some curiosity and interest there. I think that's enough for me to just sit down, and I'm going real slow with all my actions so that none of my actions create more fear. And, this one can't get any more, shut down. Like, there's nothing in this dog's body right now that is allowing them to function. Cortisol has flooded the brain, and the ability for this dog to think clearly about anything left. Oh. What this dog wants more than anything, or this puppy, is just to melt away. And I think one of the biggest points of doing what I do is to let every dog know that they matter. And right now, we need to let this little one know that they matter. We can't do that until we can help different parts of their brain start to fire so that fear can release its hold and new things can come into play, like scent and sight and sound. And right now, one of the ways I try to do that are with some treats. Because if we can get that nose working, that is a different part of the brain. And you can't have that happening with fear at the same time. There's not space for both in your brain. The tough part is, this definitely creates some stress. Me being here right now creates a little bit of stress. And that is tough because it's like you when you're not in your comfort zone and you try new things, and that feeling you have of this is not very comfortable is hard. But these dogs' lives depend on it. Because if you can break through that in a reasonable way, then on the other side is them understanding that, yes, while this place is scary because it's unknown, we can help. And how we do that is by showing this dog that humans are good, because this dog may not know that. They may have never experienced that, or just the fear of this place has driven them to believe that they're going to be harmed. And so we got to work to help break this little puppy out of it. And what kind of dog do I think this is? I think shepherd, maybe a little Belgian Malinois in here. Adorable, that snout, but shepherd mix of some sort. And I don't know if you can see it, but they have little white paws at the, like little white socks. It's like ankle socks, and not even that, those socks. A dog like this can easily slip through the cracks at a shelter. And why I'm so blessed that so many of you are a part of this with me is because I think we can help. And I think we can help tell this little one's story and give them comfort. And Alexis on the team, she's getting all the details right now for their story, because I think there's more to this one than what the eye may see. I mean, I guess that's not true. You can see that obviously there's something going on here. but those ears are registering every little bit of what I'm saying. And that is a good thing, because I bet here in a minute what we might be able to do is some positive affirmations, change my vocal tone just a little bit, and we might be able to break through that way. But I don't want to do that right away, because that could flood this little dog, boy or girl, I think girl, that could flood this little dog with just information they're not ready and just overwhelm them. So what I'm trying to do right now is just normalize me talking and being in the space and not having this dog be the center of attention. But I do get excited about this, because I think we can help in this situation if they'll let me, and stick around, because we're going to take the time that we need. But I think if we can just help this one and show them some comfort, we will see a completely different dog. The real dog that they are. This isn't who this dog is. It's what they've become because of their situation. I don't know if you guys saw it, but because I didn't see it, but I put 2 treats over there. There's only one. We're going to try an open hand treat and see if we can get this little one to take a treat from my open hand. I suspect they won't, but it's worth a try. That's the size of the treat. I think I'll go with a little bigger one, just because those centimeters can make a really big difference when you're trying to help a dog. Nothing. I was trying to rub a little bit of the treat on the nose, because then if they lick that and they start to taste that can help them realize. And I wouldn't normally recommend this. Like, this is not what you want to do in a normal situation. But in these situations, unfortunately, time is compressed, and we have to work to figure out how to help this dog after they've had a reasonable amount of time to adjust. If they don't adjust, we've got to work and try some different things. Now, if you're ever watching this and going, well, why don't they try a walk, and why don't they try different things that allow space? Yes, you're right. There's so many other better ways to help a dog out of this situation. But a lot of times we're just working within the means that we have at the shelter under the time restraints that we have. So everything is high intensity, high pressure, low resources, low availability for space. And that's why some of these things are done. This should not be something that you do if you're training a dog. This is not training advice. There are some things we do that apply to dogs if you're ever rescuing a dog and you're working with them, that are applicable to those dogs. But what's happening right now, this is not necessarily that. I think what we're going to need to do is get this little one's story so that I can understand a little more, because I'm wondering if just changing my vocal tone and giving some positive affirmations to reassure this dog they're okay, and some affection might go a long way. But first, I'm going to try an open hand treat and see if that does anything. I think that what also might help. So treats are out. We're done with treats right now. Let's see if maybe at the end when we're done, if this dog takes a treat, it'd be pretty amazing. But I think what we'll do is we'll try to get to the scoop, because I think this dog could use some compression and some affection, some reassurance to let them know that things are going to be okay. But this dog is young. I'm pretty sure. I mean, she has her puppy belly still. I'm guessing, without trying to put too much eye contact on her, that she's probably 2-3 months old, maybe. You know, what's running through me right now, and if you're probably watching this, you probably might be considering the same thing, that like, you might get a little discouraged and think this isn't going to work. I know I do sometimes. And for me, what I try to do is I look back at things like Pumpkin on our farm. And you remember, he was in a state like this too. He was just a young little pup, and he was so scared, and now he's a completely different dog. And I'll tell you some things about Pumpkin. Actually, you know what? I think that's Alexis out there. Hey, you know what? Let's do this. Let's cut to a farm Pupdate, and then Alexis is coming in here, and so we'll get the story, and then we'll see if we can scoop this one up. Okay, farm Pupdate on Pumpkin.
I just found an old video in my camera roll that actually really just got me in the heart because it was when I was teaching Pumpkin how to sit. And if you remember, he was so feral when he came in. He was roaming a reservation for who knows how long. Rumors are that he was abused, and I can see that firsthand. And when I carried him out, though, and he put his head on my shoulder, I just knew that at that point he was willing to trust again. And every day he takes little steps that just all are mounting up to really big progress. And remember, he is available for adoption. And listen, when I got Pumpkin, full transparency, he was so unhealthy. When you pet him, fur would just come off in your hands, and his skin was really bad, his ears were really bad, because he had gone so long neglected, but without proper food and nutrition. And if I had to boil it down to two things with bringing a dog like that in, one is patience, love, structure, safety, just giving them all of those things that I think most every dog should have. And number two is nutrition, because without a healthy body, you can't get to a clear mind. And so it's really hard to heal dogs if they're not first nutritionally balanced. Sundays for Dogs, who is the sponsor of Flip's Farm this segment and has helped us with so many dogs like Pumpkin, Valentina, Bean, Pippa, Polly, and nutrition has been a key part of that. What I really like is that it's food as safe and as healthy as what I would eat, outside of my sugary snacks sometimes right before bed. School is starting up. My little two-legged kiddos, my human kiddos. And I don't know about you, but if you've ever had that feeling of like, I just want to do the best I can with the time that I have and with the budget, then Sundays for Dogs is a great way to do that. And if you've ever thought about trying it, you should do it with me, because I twisted their arm and got you all 50% off. When you go to rockykanaka.com/Sundays, you can get 50% off to try it. So it really de-risk trying it, because once you get it, I know you'll love it. At least that's what I've seen firsthand with the dogs on our farm. I kind of put it like this. If it's good enough for the dogs that are in their lowest moments, nutritionally and mentally, then it's definitely good enough for your dog that's already getting loved and pampered. And it comes with relief from guilt and being overwhelmed on which food you should choose, because I know I've done the deep dive on the nutrition. And when they came to us and said, we would love to be a part of what you're doing, man, I asked all the questions and made sure it was the best. And that's why I'm bringing it to you, because it's naturally complete, balanced nutrition that you can trust. So go right now, click on the description below and get your 50% off, or just go to rockykanaka.com/Sundays. And Sundays, thank you for sponsoring this Flip's Farm Pupdate.
It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Yeah, even with Alexis coming in, like, I mean, just terrified. I mean, there is nowhere to hide in this kennel, and she somehow found like the one spot behind the water hole. You know, just breaks me. I don't want her to be in such a hidden spot. Could you give me that food bowl right there? We're going to very gently. It's okay. It's okay. I'm just going to put that right there so she just can't hide in that corner, because it's really hard to make progress. And it hurts my heart to do that. But yeah, I think that's great. I think that's what we want. What she's doing right now, where she's, Alexis, she?
Yes, female.
Okay. What she's doing right now, a lot of times in the dog world, people would misconstrue for trust. And this right here is not trust. This is 100%. She's just in trauma mode and she can't process anything. So even with a big scary monster like myself behind her, she's just given up at this point, which obviously stinks. Okay, Alexis, what is her story?
Well, we do know she's about 5 months old.
5 months. Okay, I guess 3.
She looks really young.
So apparently animal control was called to, I believe, an apartment complex.
Okay.
Somebody called it in out of concern. For dogs in a home.
Okay.
And it turned out that those dogs, they were considered a cruelty case because the dogs were all underweight in the home.
Oh.
So animal control was very concerned about them. So it was her and actually another litter of puppies that were all pulled from the same home. The owner did relinquish them willingly after ACO worked with them.
Okay. And ACO is animal control officer, and she does look skinny. How long has she been here?
She's been here for about a week. I think this is actually her 8th day.
I'll bet she's already put on a few pounds. The thing with puppies is they can put weight on really quickly. You know, for a puppy to be emaciated, when you see it, it just, man, it pierces your heart. There's nothing harder to see than an emaciated puppy. And it's really hard too, because, you know, puppies, they have typically their mama, they have food, people taking care of them and around. So for puppies to be emaciated, it's very cruel.
And she was also apparently flea infested as well.
So just bad all around, huh?
Exactly. And she does also apparently have an old injury on her front leg, on one of them. But it might have happened actually a long time ago, possibly from one of the litter mates or something like that, accidentally fracturing her leg. But it was never fully treated, so it's now calcified. According to the vet staff, they do have her on pain management. She is not in pain at all. But it's just, it went untreated for so long, it was just basically calcified. So she's kind of just, she just has it like that now.
So, wait, I don't see it. Do you guys see it? I mean, I wonder, is it that paw? Let me see something. It is most likely the one she's hiding, because that's a pretty natural response to hide the injury or pull the injury in so you don't continue to get hurt. So if we can get her comfortable enough, we'll see if we can see that. Did the staff say that because it's calcified in that injury, does she need to have that leg amputated?
That could be a possible way to go about it.
I'm no vet, by the way, but typically if it calcifies, it's just a lot harder. Once you go in there to try to do the procedure, you either one can't, or it takes hours and hours and hours longer. It's more traumatic. It takes longer to heal. It's just a whole bunch of complications. But your body does that naturally when something like that happens, to try to just mend the way that it knows how to do. And if treated right away, then likely it wouldn't have been an issue, but now it's going to be an issue. I go back and forth because, one, if this was isolated, if that was the only thing that was wrong, even a simple procedure like that now could be thousands of dollars. And so many of us don't have that. You just don't have that around. If it's the choice of feeding your kids that week or a surgery for your dog, maybe in that week, for months, or a surgery for your dog, they just can't do it. Vet bills have climbed astronomically high, where it becomes such a luxury nowadays to have a pet, to be able to afford them and keep them. And so I understand when those situations happen, and I understand why people have to bring their dogs to kennels sometimes. But I think when you combine the lack of food, fleas, this across multiple dogs, you really get into a neglect and cruelty situation. But I throw it out to you. What do you think? Okay, what else?
Well, we don't have a name for her at all, actually. We'll have to give her one.
Oh, she needs a name. She's starting to fall asleep. This is really good, because when a dog starts to fall asleep in this sort of situation, it means that not that they're totally relaxed, like not that this has become such a great situation where now we've completely transformed this dog with love. Well, I wish that was the case. They're slightly relaxed. And because that cortisol and that adrenaline is running through them nonstop, constantly at the shelter, if there's even just a small amount of relaxation, they fall asleep. It's good, but it's just kind of wild to think of it that way. And yet her eyes are getting heavy, which is like when I see an injured little puppy in this situation, it's been through so much. If we can't help a dog like this, then who are we as a people? And the dad in me also just gets infuriated, because I've got little human beings too. And like if they were out on their own and they had been injured, and I would be beside myself. And so the rage starts filling your heart. And you just go, how could someone let a being get in this situation? And I thank animal control for doing the right thing in this situation and pulling in these dogs. A lot of people say, well, they're not better off at the shelter because there, what's the end of the line situation? Maybe, but guess what? Not on our watch, not today. We've come to help. And we get to tell your story. So likely not a lot of socialization going on in that home either. I mean, from what we're seeing.
From what we're seeing, it looks like out of the litter and the other dogs that were in that home, that she's definitely seems to be the most shut down out of all of them. The others, I believe, are actually younger than her, and they're just
Doing a little better?
yeah, they seem like they're have more of that typical puppy excited behavior.
Yeah, I think a lot of it probably too is trauma. I thought it was mental trauma. It's probably also physical trauma that then now has caused her to be so reserved. A lot of times people say, well, why isn't she with all of her siblings? And sometimes in these situations, you have to work to separate the dogs or just try different things. She might be reunited with her siblings later, but you have to try different things because it can be a crutch sometimes. And with all the dogs around, she could be hiding in the corner and never be allowed to come out of her shell. And so the staff might have separated her for that reason and also just for her own safety. Well, okay, what else?
Just that we need to give her a nickname.
I mean, I'm glad there's nothing else.
Yeah.
Gosh, man.
Yeah, it was already a lot. I mean, she definitely needs help for sure.
I don't know if you noticed in this video, but like I'm keeping my voice lower because I don't know. I just think the situation calls for it with her and it's working. And with her in this, she's remember where she was at. Or she's having nightmares. Like I've seen dogs in these situations have lots of nightmares. But I do need to see that other paw to see if the other paw is the problem. And let's see how we can help. I bet we can help. I'm going to try some affection and some positive affirmations. Man, those ears, they'll take off. They're like drone ears. Like the drone like pops up and goes zoom. ready for action. Why don't we come up with a couple names? I will tell you, Alexis, the last 2 times we've done this for our audience and we've narrowed it down to 2 names, they've picked other names. You guys, of course, our community is not easy. That's why I love you. But guys, come on, I'm trying to vote A or B or simplify this, and then you guys are all uniting as a community and coming up with another name. What is that about? And each time, what's really funny is each time it's been a better name than we came up with. Like Angel for the Great Dane, because we said her ears are like angel wings. Why didn't I think of that?
I know.
Because a lot of Great Danes, they have their ears cropped, which don't crop your dog's ears. Stop it. And then the other one was Monty. It wasn't even a name we suggested, and you all united together as a community, which I secretly love. Okay. I don't have a name. Well, yeah, maybe. I don't know. I don't think I have a name for this one. What about you? I mean, I couldn't say like, what just kind of came to my head is, this one looks like a little potato. And, but I don't think potato's right. Maybe like Ruffles. No, but that's too, I don't know. I don't like that. What do you got?
I don't know, because I keep coming up with male names, but I definitely think I want to choose more of a female one for her.
We could do Sally.
It's cute.
But she got big old ears. Bunny.
Bunny is cute too.
Bunny. Okay. All right. Why don't we do Bunny and one more?
Okay.
She's got little white paws, like her toes are white. That's what I was thinking. Bunny too. Like between her little white paws and her big old ears, I was thinking Bunny.
You're right. I love that. Bunny's a very cute name.
Why don't we just do Bunny? You know what? You guys are in trouble for not picking the AB name last time. So we're just going to name this one Bunny so you don't come up with something better. I think Bunny's fitting, right? That sounds right.
It's very cute, especially because, like you said, I didn't even notice until you pointed out the little white toes.
Yeah.
Combined with her big ears. I think that's very cute.
Yeah, Bunny. Okay. All right. Let's try it. Let's try. Okay. What I'm hoping is that my positive affirmations and my happy voice resonates with her. If that doesn't work, we're going to try some affection. If that doesn't work, we're going to try the scoop. If that doesn't work, I'm going to cry. Okay. You're a good girl. You are a good girl. Actually, let me reverse this. I'm going to come back. While she's in this relaxed state, I'm going to try a little affection and combine that with that. You're a good girl. So we've been thinking about it. We've been talking. I know you were taking a nap, and I know you still had your ears up, so you heard us. But what we decided is your name will be Bunny. And I don't know if you ever even had a name in your entire life, and you deserve it. And I'll tell you why you deserve it. Because it's all in a name, and it's really important. And with a name, we can start thinking about you. Say, that's Bunny, and showing you love and affection, and letting the whole world know that Bunny is a good girl. It's a good girl, Bunny. And we're going to help you get through this, whatever it is. If your little arm's hurting, we need to help, we can help you. We'll help you heal and get through this, give you the space and the time you need, if we can get you into a home, okay? And Bunny, I promise you're safe from here. Okay? Your eyes tell the whole story. It's pretty adorable that her ears are down, like she's relaxing even more. I'm thinking that you are a candidate for the scoop because you are open to this affection. You're a good girl, Bunny. You didn't do anything to deserve this. The pain and the hunger, fear is not your fault. It's not anything you did. It's not anything your brothers and sisters did. And we're going to prove that to you, okay? Yeah, you're a good girl. You're a good girl, Bunny. Yeah. Did you see that the video of the bunny, the AI video of the bunnies jumping on the trampoline?
I did.
Did it get you? Or did you hear about it after?
Honestly, I heard about it after, and it seemed kind of obvious just because one of the bunnies just disappears on the trampoline.
It got me. I'm older too, so I'm a sucker. But it got me. I saw it and okay. And there was one before that too that was like raccoons or something like that, or maybe after. I don't know. I saw them in different orders. I saw the raccoon one after, and then that's when I knew the bunny one was fake too. Because we don't just have this epidemic of critters jumping on trampolines. Anyways, if you didn't see it, I certainly can't show it here because copyright stuff. When you learned it was fake, it gives you this almost dystopian heartache of just this void where nothing feels real. I bring it up because then there's some guy, I don't remember his name. I will link him to give him credit or put it on the screen. But he started this thing where I may not have the story right, but just stick with me here. He started this thing over a year ago where every day he decided to write a song. Awesome. Every day he writes a song. I don't know what his story is. Maybe he wasn't good at singing. Maybe he was, but he just decided to do it every day. And after he saw that video, he wrote a song. And if you haven't heard the song, you got to go check out this song. It is so catchy and it is so pertinent to the time that we're living in right now. And it's about bunnies jumping on a trampoline. And if they're not real, could your love not be real? Anyways, it hadn't stopped playing in my head. And maybe that's why I was thinking Bunny too. I need to make a video of that song for her. But the whole reason I bring all that up is because I'm going to do the scoop here in a second. But I just want to say this. If you're watching this on TV, if you're laying in your bed watching this holding your phone, if you're listening to this and life doesn't feel real and you're trying to find your north star or trying to feel grounded, you can put all of that aside and walk into a shelter to volunteer, and life becomes meaningful immediately because these guys need us. There's no AI for this dog. There's no fake bunnies jumping on a trampoline or wondering how they'll pay the bills or what life means. All they want is you in that moment, and all of your imperfect qualities, your feelings of not being adequate or not knowing what you want to do in this life or if everything's going to work out. It doesn't matter to them. They just need you to be there. That's my call out to go volunteer. That's all. Let's do the scoop because I think she's ready for it. You're a good girl, Bunny. Bunny, you're a good girl. Yes, you are. So the trick with the scoop is it's like dipping a Ruffles potato chip in some French onion dip. You gotta get under it. And that's like if you're grabbing a football or a bunny. If you're grabbing a bunny, I'm no bunny expert. I don't know if that's how you call a bunny, but it sounds right. Okay. And you want to scoop under and give some support like that. There you go. And she is shaking. Yeah, I think her front left leg, it's kind of limp almost, but that could just be her so scared right now. When you hold a dog that is just trembling in fear, it will just give you a new kind of take on life. And just where you just in your heart, you go, I'm going to do whatever it takes to let this dog know that they matter, that they're going to be okay, that they'll be safe. You're a good girl. I mean, some of the most adorable eyes, like just, she has learned to just tell the whole story with her eyes, or she's been limited to telling the whole story with her eyes. And so just her little eyebrows and her eyes tell that entire story. She's a good girl. Yeah. Bunny, you're a good girl. Bunny, you're a good girl. Bunny's a good girl, yeah. If I had to bet money, she's shaking right now. In short of 5 minutes, she's going to be asleep because I can feel her relaxing, like the bottom half of her body is relaxing. And another thing I do is like, you don't want to restrain the dog, because if she wants to jump off and get out of here, she is more than welcome. Like you don't ever want to restrain. I do with her because she's shaking so much. I am going to do a little pressure, like a little compression. Just gives her a bit more safety. You know, if you look at puppies in a pack, they all lay on top of each other, especially boxer puppies. Man, that dog pile of boxer puppies is hilarious. But that they do that. They use each other for safety. And I mean, we do this as humans too, but dogs especially, mama's right there with them. And so just not ever having that can really set a dog back. And so just having that compression, if they feel safe, even if they're scared and they're shaking, it can just give them a sense of security. And again, it's a delicate balance, right? Like it's a delicate balance of not making them too scared and getting them out of their comfort zone. And you don't want to restrict them, but also just showing them safety. And then also just a push and a pull, right? Like we'll release in case she wants to jump out. Because that calcification is probably right here, there could still be hope. It may not need to be an amputation, but just some surgery in here. I mean, my late soul dog Flip, the reason he's called Flip is his paws atrophied, a little different. They didn't break, but he was locked in a kennel for so long and he couldn't stand up that by the time he was 6 months old, he couldn't move his paws. So when he'd walk, he'd have to flip them up like this because they didn't bend like this. And that's how he got his name, Flip. And it was adorable. And it was sad because when he was walking, he would kind of cartwheel over himself and he would fall down. But then he'd just get right back up because he had that spirit of like, all right, well, we're going to figure this out. You know, exact opposite of this. So there's hope. You know, we got to the point where he could barely walk. He was not functional he'd run miles with me. And for a boxer, that's really good because they're short snouts. So their endurance isn't always the highest. You're a good girl, bunny. There we go. There we go. She just stopped stinking. Oh, that makes me so happy. That feels so good. Like that gives me the chills and that she's just gone, okay. All right, we're okay now. We're okay now. Yeah, bunny, do you want a treat? Do you want a treat? Is that a treat? Here, we'll put it up there. It's kind of a little trick, like I've learned, if you can get them salivating, if you can get that taste going, they start to go, oh, what's that? Because they may not know. She may never have received treats outside of like if the shelter tried to give her some treats and stuff. You know, the thing about a dog in this state, in this situation, she's likely never had a name. And to go your whole life without having a name is just a surreal sort of experience. She's likely never been given a treat, a toy, all the things that you would just associate a dog with and you would just naturally do, she may have never had. And I could be wrong. Maybe she got all those things, but from the sounds of it and the looks of it, probably none of those things. Right now, she has a little treat up in her mouth, but she's relaxing so much, she's not even licking that. I hope one of y'all sees this and is close enough to San Jacinto where you can scoop in and adopt her. You have to go through them. I can't help with that because I don't run this shelter. So you have to be qualified through them. But if you can come down and adopt her, it would mean the world to us. And I bet when you see her pup date, you will see a dog that is bouncing around like a bunny rabbit, getting treats and toys and affection. Like I could see her right now. And this is what I try to do so the sadness doesn't get too heavy, is imagine her right now at a family with a couple of kids, and she's bouncing around, chasing a Frisbee, and she's getting all kinds of treats and getting in trouble because she's knocking things off the coffee table that she jumped on that she's not supposed to. Like, there's so much hope for her. And I would say, like, I would go get her paw fixed right now, but we're full at the farm until someone adopts Pumpkin. If you have a little bit of a budget and you could afford to help her with this paw, you could be the perfect candidate, because I think that is going to need someone that's going to be able to go to the vet, do the assessment, get the procedure if it's needed. And the vet might say, you know, it's too far gone. Like, you need to just leave it alone, but you got to have a little budget to do that, and then let her heal. And she's going to be the perfect dog. Perfect dog. We got about 2 minutes left before she falls asleep. I think it's been longer than 5 minutes, but still, she's about to pass out because she's completely stopped shaking. But she hasn't done anything with that treat in her upper lip right now. She probably just didn't know what a treat is even, you know? And we did it. Happy little puppy belly. Sound asleep. She's going to start snoring. Just watch. And you see her little white toes now? That's why I think she's a perfect little bunny. Oh, sorry. Oh, I said your name. Do you already know your name? Bet she's smart. Being a Shepherd mix, or, you know, Belgian Malinois mix, or whatever she is, I bet she's smart. She knows everything that's going on. She's reading the room for sure. Taking some more head rubs. Let's move to the head massage. I just want to thank San Jacinto, the entire team here at this shelter, for letting us come in to help tell the stories of some of these dogs that need homes. If you haven't had a chance, if you live in the area, come down here. Okay, so she might want to get up, so I'm going to let her get up if she wants to. Lee, you a good girl. You're a good girl. Are you saying hi to me? Can you give me kisses? You can? You want to check it out? There's a good girl. Yeah, what are you doing? Just checking things out? This is good. This is like a little bit of bravery right here. She kind of looks like, right now, she kind of looks like that sloth off of Ice Age. She had big front buck teeth. She's like,
I want to laugh so bad at that,
but you gotta be cool.
She keeps looking over at me like, I don't want to scare her.
Be cool, Alexis, be cool.
yeah, like she got that little white stripe under there. That feel good? Does that feel good? You probably never felt that before, huh? That's good, huh? That's what good dogs get. You're gonna start getting that on a regular basis. The thing is the hardest part is behind you. Did you know that? You've already gone through the hard part. From here, it only gets better, I promise. Outside of maybe the surgery for the paw, it's going to be puppuccinos and treats and cuddles and couches and all kinds of stuff. You want more? Okay. So remember, it's always a push and a pull when you're working with a dog like this. Like, even if they're just asking, you got to give them a chance so that they can come back for more, because they got to process it, right? It feels really good, and then they need a minute to go, oh, okay, I never had that before. I like that. I would like some more of that. Want some more? Okay. Does it feel good? You want something to hear? Like a kitty cat? Yeah? Okay. It's always kind of the true test, right? Like, they can always get down. I don't think that says a lot. Like, for her to be up here even this long is big. But like, if you do this and they stay here and they're like, oh, this ain't so bad. This ain't so bad, huh? That's some good progress right there. The scoop. What's neat about what we're seeing right now is like, here, you need a little support? Is the world's looking a little different to her, right? Like, she's looking up, going, okay, where are we at? Kind of processing the information. And that's good. And hopefully what this does, although we had to push a little bit and cause some discomfort, hopefully what this does is allows her now to just view this place a little differently. It's not a place where it's going to cause her harm. There are good things that happen. So now the next human that comes in or comes to consider adopting her, she goes, oh, am I going to get some more chest scratches? Are you going to call me by my name, Bunny?
She sees your lap as a safe space now.
Yeah, it really is.
Curled into your...
Yeah, that's so true.
It's hugging your hand now.
Yeah, and it is a safe space too. Like that's the neat thing about this is like dogs know, right? They know your intentions. And this is the hardest part too, because I want to stay here forever. But we have to, there are more dogs we need to help. This is where I need you. Like if you haven't subscribed, what are you doing? You better subscribe because this helps more eyeballs get on her and share this. Well, that's more so what I want. I don't care if you subscribe, share this because I want people to see that. I want people to see her. And the more people that see her, the more likely she is to get adopted because it is going to take someone that does have at least $1,000 in your bank account to be able to take her to the vet, actually get a surgery, maybe more if there are more surgeries. Hopefully it's not that, and it wouldn't cost a lot, but just in case. Yeah, thank you, Sundays, for being such a big part of this. And guys, go support it. Support the people supporting us. So Sundays for Dogs, link in the description. Next video is going to be us giving pup dates on how you're living in a loving home. But I can't do it without you guys.